Hello, I'm Flora Wallace. I'm currently having Gofundme available. I'm 74 years old. I'm disabled, and I'm in the position I'm in mainly because I had to leave my home that was forced into foreclosure because my husband did not pay the bills and left. He already had a house to move into that he had bought, and I didn't have anything. So when I sold my home, the little bit of money that I got out of it, because I still owed a bit on it, I didn't get very much on it. I used it to live on, and now I no longer have any money except for what I live on Social Security. They said my Social Security is too much. They, being human resources, said I make too much money for Medicaid. And some major illnesses. I have myalgia gravis, which I'm unable to move around and do much of anything. My muscles are so weak that I can hardly walk. I can't use my arms and hands very well. It affects my breathing. I live on Social Security, and trying to live on my Social Security and pay my medical expenses has gotten the best of me. I can't afford my bills and try to keep up with my medical needs. But that is why I am on the GoFundMe. I thought that I had a good life, but I didn't know what was going on around me. I guess I lived in a world that I created where everything was good, and I didn't see a lot of the signs around me that showed me otherwise. My husband had abused my youngest son and Benjamin, and going until I guess the end of 2024 or 20, I can't what year was that we moved out. Around the end of 2024 that I really began to see a lot of things that were discontinuing, and I became very uneasy and scared because the illusion that I had made for myself was just the opposite of what was going on. Husband that had monies that he did not share with me. I never know. He looked at money and never tell me anything about it, and spend a lot of money on himself. And then I just began to realize that after finding check stubs and bonuses that he had received, that he never mentioned. It was a lot of money, a lot of money. He never mentioned it to me. And then he received some monies for an investment. He did not share with me. He took all of it. I began to see that I really am not included in his life. I'm just a sideshow, just something that he owns. And then he was attacking my youngest son. They didn't get along together. And he was very critical. My son has disabilities, learning disabilities. His ADHD. He has a form of dyslexia that affects math, where he cannot do numbers. He cannot do math. He is on the spectrum, and he does have some different behaviors that my husband would not contend with, and he refused to see that they were related. to the disabilities. He constantly put Benjamin down. He criticized to the point where Benjamin stayed in his room. For years, he just stayed in his room. He would even come out unless he knew David wasn't there. Benjamin had to shelter himself from the abuse that he felt and saw in my husband. It affects the dynamics of the family. The peaceful, the somewhat peaceful atmosphere I thought I had in that relationship began to fall away when I began to see things for what they were. It's hard when you have a dream and it starts breaking up into pieces. Like a puzzle just falling apart. And you try to keep the other pieces from going with it. You try to maintain somewhat of an illusion. You try to keep it because it's hard to accept. Life could be that bad. I used to believe that people were good and generous and just good all the way around people, but I found now that the illusion has broken, I'm finding it's just the opposite. I'm left where I cannot take care of myself without the care of my youngest son, Benjamin. He's my caretaker, and he helps me all the time. I can get up at times, but I can't really hold on to things with my hands. I don't have the strength in my arms to manage things. And so he has to be there for me to do everything. For that, I'm so thankful. And he's been such a blessing. I have a son, another son that helps me by taking me to the doctor when I need to go. And there's a store for me when I need it. It's just that the society and the way the economy is, I'm finding it very difficult to try to get the medical help I need on Social Security. And Social Security says that I make too much. I live on $1,300 a month. I have to pay for an apartment and for electric and water and the other telephone and internet and everything else adds up. And then I'm going to pay co-pays to the doctors. Well, I see 3 doctors a month. It's like $200 a more a month just to go see doctors. And then I got co-pays on medicine, and the doctors are ordering treatments for the disease then that require a lot more money. I currently just received a catheter and put into my chest so that my blood can be filtered, and hopefully that the treatment will work. I filtered my blood, but it's expensive, and there's no help in paying for this except when the hospital will let me pay it out. But that's really not much comfort when I have money going out. And the money going out that I have coming in. I live on $290 a month on food stamps. And as anybody knows, that's not much to live on for a month for groceries. Especially when there's not anything like toilet paper or paper towels that's included in it. Nothing extra. It has to be just strictly food, which is fine, but it's just another expense. Everything's just a big expense, but I'm struggling and I'm trying to find a way to manage it. And I'm hoping that the Gofundme, I'll be able to continue medical treatment for this disease so that I can once again get on my feet and be able to do things. All of the medications and treatments are very expensive, and I hope with someone will feel the goodness and compassion to help me if they can. I know if it was me, I would help somebody, but I don't know about other people anymore. Don't know if there's anybody out there that is good enough in their heart to donate to get, but it will be a blessing to me and a blessing to you. My husband had attacked Benjamin.
So, as stated in some of my previous videos, I had a mental break and I was taunting my stepdad. But I didn't actually hurt anyone. I didn't actually do anything. And this was a mental break because of his abuse. I was sleeping on a broken children's bed for a number of years, which my mom will account to. Imagine sleeping on a broken children's bed when you have life threatening scoliosis and you're in so much pain that your mind just temporarily breaks and shuts down. That's my situation that I was in. And so he didn't even help me try to get a working bed. That's how bad it was. And so my mental break was a direct cause from his abuse.
And he was in a rage and it pinned Benjamin down against a door. He thought I didn't see. He thought there was no proof of it. But I came through the door with Benjamin was yelling, "Help." I came through the door and I saw him holding Benjamin down against the door. And one day, when my husband realized that I might be there, he turned around and he just smiled. I'll never forget that smile. That was such evil smile because it's a smile while he was choking my son. Um, all Benjamin could do was to lash out with his hands, try to get David's hands off of him. And when he did, he scratched my husband's neck. The police were called in because of the incident. I thought they would help Benjamin, but they did instead because my husband had scratches on his neck. They arrested my son for protecting himself, and now he has a record. Benjamin called the police to report the incident of the strangulation, and they came, and because there were scratches on David's neck, visible scratches, they arrested Benjamin for domestic violence, even though it was self-defense. They said that's just the way the law is. There's visible marks like that. Benjamin had some red marks from the restraint, but the police did not, look at him very well. They would have noticed that he had bruises. Then there was a hearing on this incident the next day. So, and I couldn't get out of bed to go. So David said that he would go, and yet I don't know if he had to be there or not. He may have, I guess. But I wanted to go, but I couldn't get out of bed to go. So I didn't have a wheelchair or any way of going. So when the incident came up before the judge, they made it sound like Benjamin was to blame for all of it. And Benjamin was not allowed to defend himself. They said he didn't need a lawyer because it was not a trial, so he didn't need a lawyer. So, but yet they passed judgment on him, and now Benjamin they passed judgment on him. But my husband had told them that we had gotten him, tried to get Benjamin help for years, and that was a lie. David never tried getting any help. I'm the one that always tried to help him. And that's all right. That's my son, not his son. But the fact that he tried to take credit for trying to get help is wrong. He did not try to get it.
That's a lie in court. That's a felony.
Yeah,
If you match up the transcript to your eyewitness testimony, that proves that he's committed a felony.
so he got away with it anyway. They believed him. They believed David. They believed my husband. And they felt sorry for my husband because they made Benjamin sound psychotic or something, made him sound out of control, or I don't know. So now Benjamin carries, by a judgment of a judge, a charge of domestic violence against an elderly person, which is very serious. When the elderly person is twice his size and has is strong, twice the strength of Benjamin. Benjamin is maybe 5'4", maybe 110 pounds, and my husband was probably around 180 pounds. Or 200, even 200 pounds sometimes. He's 5'8", 5'9". He just, there's no way Benjamin could have competed against that. David just grabbed him and started choking him. I don't know who would be ready for that. You do what you can. I'd do everything I could too if it was me. I'd scratch his neck and do anything. Somebody tried to strangle me. And we don't have the money to get an attorney to get the charge taken off. So he has to carry it. The charge stays. And nobody will even know the truth behind the incident. My husband knows that sheriff and some of the deputies, and I don't know, sorry, I'm looking for words. He's well liked, I guess, with them. Friendly anyway with them. And so, of course, they're going to take his word for anything. Mrs. David has animosity to Benjamin. He does not like Benjamin.
This is a bag of my stuff he threw away. See, look, he had this in his office. And this is all, he had these papers, which I had printed out for Mom. And then he stole them. All this shit that he had in his office. He's throwing away our metal straws. Look at this. See? He's throwing away our... See, this is what Narcissists does. On their way out, they try to cause as much damage as humanly possible. See? Look at that. See? My name on it. Pencils. Penis. Pensis. What the fuck? Did he really write Ben's penis? The fuck? He's so deranged. What the fuck? Gaming equipment. See? Meanwhile, I'm using a 7,000-year-old computer. He spent all our house money on shit that he can't even make money off of because he sucks at gaming, which is self-admitted. And his illegal CDs that he's ripped from the internet. What he spent his money on. This is what he spent the house money on. Sorry, the house money. This is what he spent the house money on. See? Okay. He spent it on useless shit he didn't need. Look at this. Yeah. This is hundreds of dollars. This is for your computer. This is a motherboard.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a motherboard. This is hundreds of dollars. Yeah, for his computer that he can't make any money off of. While him calling me lazy and this and that, when he spends all of our money on racing equipment and shit like that. Thousands of dollars spent on racing, a racing game that he always places last in. Can you get more delusional and narcissistic than that? Thinking that you're so good at racing, but you finish last in every place every time. Thinking that if you get a better computer and programs to help you with your game, that you're going to get better.
Yeah.
Buying stuff doesn't make you better at video games, nor does it make you a better person. See, I'll show you. See, meanwhile, this is what he spent all that money on. Instead of getting you the surgery, never picking up after his cats. Look at this. Look at this. Look at that. That is like hair and shit. Look at that. This is multiple years that he's been in here and checked on her. And then he ignores her when she gets help. See? And then he rubs it in her face by showing these like hundreds of dollars of 3 monitors that he spent the 10 grand on. He spent it all on racing shit for him and his son that he named the same name after because he's such a fucking narcissist. This guy is a psycho. I mean, look at this. And he left that poop there knowing when he left. He literally rubbed in our faces that, well, look, I don't even take care of my cat.
Okay, well, he's gone. I don't see him anymore.
Right?
I'm disgusted with him.
Yeah, he's a psychopath. And he admitted lying with a corrupt cop, that sheriff, in an email.
It really isn't a fair, it wasn't a fair situation at all. It wasn't even represented correctly. That was just another piece of the puzzle breaking away, showing me what's real and what isn't. There's the illusion or the dreamlike state I was in where everything is good had really fallen apart by that point. I began to see then how things really were. Things weren't as good as I thought they were. Not when I'm living with behaves like that. And I text my son, along with the other things that I had mentioned, with the money that he was using and taking, and never telling me anything. And well, I know he used, well, the money's, when you have a family dynamic, usually a family is a unit that respects each other and is there for each other. And my partner was secretive and taking, I guess there was one time when he gambled and had some money that I don't know anymore. I just know that things are not always what they seem to be. But I found that life is not such a grand place after all, especially since my health is gone. Now I don't even have my health. I no longer have a family. I do have 3 sons that I love dearly, and that's my family there. But the other family is gone. My home is gone, and I'm living like a gypsy now because I can't afford this apartment I'm in. I have 1 month rent I'm due. I'm living here illegally right now because I have not paid for the month of June, and I'm living here. I've been trying to find somebody to help me with my rent. So far, no one has stepped in. I've called churches. There are other organizations that I was given a list of, and they can't help me. I guess the Salvation Army did, or one of them has helped me in the past, but I don't have any help for this one. There's so few organizations in town, and you can only use them once a year. I did find somebody to help me with my electric bill for this month. At least that will be taken care of. Now I must find a way to get things packed up and moved to a storage or somewhere. I don't know where I'll live. I'm trying to get a motel, I guess. Those are expensive. I don't know if housing is going to be available for me. The low-income housing is what I need. The government subsidizes some housing for low income, and that's what I'm trying to get into. But I don't know if it's going to be available in time. I'm going to reach out to Salvation Army and Helping Hands and see if they can help find me a place to stay until an apartment comes up, someplace that I can afford. I don't know. I keep telling myself things are going to work out, and I work to that end. Whatever I do, I work to that end. That I just keep going. I work at it and wait for it to take everything to fall into place. How it ends, I don't know. All I know is when you're down, you get back up. That's all I know.
Love you.
It really came to a head too when I saw him just reach over and hit Benjamin in the head. That's been happening for several different times. Every time he would have the opportunity, if he thought nobody was watching, and he was near Benjamin, he was just reach over and hit in the head. He never knew I saw that. My husband was very secretive. People don't know him very well, but that's okay. No one really knows a person. I thought I knew him. It turns out you really don't know a person. When I asked my husband to leave, he had raised his hand, but to hit Benjamin in the head. There was an argument between them. He was going to reach up. He reached up to hit Benjamin in the head, and I told him that to go. He just needed to go, to leave.
Is that it?